Time flies when you're having fun, and man, we cannot believe it's been 3 months already since we started our full-time RV journey.
Stick around as we go through some of the lessons that we've learned already, and trust me, one of these lessons could save your RV, and more importantly, it could save your marriage.
He's not kidding about that.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Dina.
If you haven't had a chance, please go look at our video we did on 1 month of full-time RV living. It'll probably give you a really good perspective on how we started out and how we got to where we are today.
Spoiler alert, I didn't have to use the frying pan on them yet.
So the way I would kind of classify our first 3 months, I think our first month was just pretty much prep work. It was a lot of things, getting the RV ready to travel. Now these last 2 months, I think more is getting comfortable, learning things, and kind of, I guess, cleaning up our processes and trying to get better at the things we do.
Yeah.
So
a little rearranging.
Yeah, some rearranging. So what we really want to do in this video is go through some of the lessons that we've learned. So hopefully it'll help you out if you decide to go RVing full time. Now, one of the first lessons we learned, and this could have been a bad situation, we use TripWizard, and the way we plan our trips, we plan them through TripWizard. Then I'll download the path we're going to take into my Garmin GPS, and then we just follow that GPS as we go. On our trip to Stone Mountain, for whatever reason, the Garmin audio wasn't working, and as we got closer, I really wanted to be able to hear the audio, so I didn't have to take my eyes off the road. So we got the bright idea of, let's just punch it in with Dina's phone and use Google Maps, and use Google Maps, and we'll just follow Google Maps instead. Big mistake. Google Maps didn't know we had a 43-foot RV behind our truck, and it literally told us to go through this basically little small town right outside of Stone Mountain, Georgia.
And a residential small town.
Residential small town. We turned off the highway, and within 10 seconds of turning off the highway, we knew something wasn't right. However, we kept going, and then we finally decided to stop. But it's a little bit too late. We were right in the middle of a town, and now we're kind of stuck, and we had to figure out how to get back out of this town and get back on
and like really narrow roads with low trees
and low bridges.
Yes, low bridges.
We were very lucky. We did manage to get back out and back onto the highway. We settled down a little bit. I think both of our hearts were racing. We settled down, and then we were fine after that. Another example with the GPS, on our way to Tennessee, we were pretty close. Now, luckily, I already researched this. I knew right where the campground was at. I knew it was only about 10 miles away. But what happened was my Garmin GPS and then my onboard navigation system in the Ford, I just decided to plug the Ford in just to see if they synced up or not. My Garmin GPS literally had us going an extra 30 miles out of the way. It wanted us to go past the RV park and basically do a big circle and come back. And that would have been another 30 miles out of our way. So lesson learned on this, we love our Garmin, we love TripWizard. I always double check. We always double check now before we leave, and usually the night before I'll get on and do a satellite view so I know right where the campground is and how to get into the entrances, and it's so much easier. So it could have been a very bad mistake for us. Right. So another thing that we like to do now, and this was again a mistake on our part. Luckily this one wasn't as bad. Now when we arrive to a new location, that's when we like to go do our grocery shopping. And there's a couple reasons for this. We found out very early on, some fruits don't like traveling in RVs when they're 95 degrees outside and bouncing down the road. We've literally rolled into a new site and opened up the RV, and a batch of bananas looked dead. I wouldn't eat them. So now what we do, once we arrive, if it's too late, we won't go that day, but we'll try to go the very next day or as soon as we can. So this is when we'd like to do our grocery shopping. And there's a few other benefits for this as well. When we're going grocery shopping, it gives us a chance to get a little bit familiar with the town. We may find out where a hospital is, where the vet is, drugstores are at. All these things can come in handy when you need them. And the other good benefit of this is you may come across something that you didn't know was in town, you didn't expect, but might be worth checking out.
Yeah.
For instance, we're in Topeka, Kansas right now.
Yeah.
We drove down the road and there's an Evel Knievel museum down there.
We had no idea.
we had no idea. So if that's something you're into, now you would know, and you have plenty of time to go see that.
Right.
Now we did make a mistake at the last place we're at. Dina found a really nice hiking trail right on the Missouri River and
right behind us, literally right behind our campground.
Yeah, in St. Charles, Missouri.
Yeah.
Now, luckily, Dina did find this the day before we left, so we did get a chance to take Rodeo on a little small hike down on the Missouri River. She actually
got to swim. Yeah.
She actually got to swim the Missouri River, so I think she was happy. I think she was looking for Lewis and Clark too. So she didn't find them. But anyways, yeah. So again, we try to go shopping as soon as we get somewhere, and it gives us an excuse to go out and explore a little bit. Another lesson that we learned is we always now try to call ahead to verify our reservations and also verify the address to the campground. Some of these websites aren't accurate, and they could have invalid
you never know.
Invalid addresses, so we do like to call ahead and verify the addresses. And one of the reasons for that is now what we do, if we do any online shopping, we always wait until we get enough stuff that we need, and we'll wait and order it the day we arrive at a new campground.
Right.
And this is one of the reasons why we have to verify the address, and we also have to verify our site number. So when we get somewhere, if we have enough stuff, we'll go ahead and order it online at that point. If we want mail delivered to us, we'll do the same thing. We'll have our mail set up to come to our new location. Now, the reason for this is we like to stay at least 2 weeks at every place we go at a minimum. So it gives the mail and online shopping basically 2 weeks to get to us in case there's any delays or anything like that. So that's something we do all the time now. Another big lesson we learned, and this could be very costly, is we don't do indoor parking anymore or parking garages. I have an app that I use. If you go into a new city, it basically shows you some of the parking garages, what's available. It will show you the height of parking garages. So if you know your truck is 6'10" in height, you can look at some of the parking garages and know which ones you can get in and which ones won't accommodate your truck. The problem with this is just because you can get into a parking garage doesn't mean you can get and move around in a parking garage. We've been in a couple situations where we knew we could get in, we had the clearance by a couple inches, but getting back out, I think, was more scary than anything else. Some of these parking garages have extremely tight turns. When you're in a big truck like ours, it's very, very hard, and it could cause some situations. So as a rule of thumb for us, we don't do parking garages anymore. If we have to park in a city, we'll always look for outside parking. Another lesson we learned is this lifestyle is really making us come out of our comfort zone. It's not a bad thing. Neither one of us are the kind of people that's going to go to someplace new and go strike a conversation up with somebody. We're a little bit more reserved or laid back than that.
I am more than you are.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
However, this lifestyle kind of forces you to be a little bit more active or a little more outgoing. And as an example,
come out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, come out of your comfort zone.
It does.
We both like rock climbing gyms. That's what we do for fitness. In the beginning, we would go to a new gym. You think everybody's looking at you. Who are these people walking in? You feel
because they go there. More than not, they're locals and they know everybody because they go there, and then someone new comes in and they know you're new, so then you feel like a little bit intimidated, and are they going to be watching you? And
so you just feel intimidated, basically. It's a good way to put it. Now we go to a new city, we find a gym to go to, we walk in like we own the place, say, hey, we're ready to climb, let's go. We don't care anymore if people are watching us. We do our own thing, and we're actually more apt to go talk to some of the locals and get some advice from them and stuff. So it's making us come out of our comfort zone, but I think for a good thing.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's good. Another little minor lesson we've learned is truck and RV washing. It's be prepared to have a dirty truck and a dirty RV.
Yes.
A lot of campgrounds, they don't want you washing your RV or your tow vehicle in their campground. I don't know if it's water usage or they don't want, flooding out the campground. I don't know. I'm sure they all have different reasons.
Right.
Now you can find some that will make you pay, $15, $20 to wash your RV or your rig. And I think that's what we're finding more often than not is you have to pay extra if they allow you to do it.
Well, a lot of places were like $20, $25 if they allowed it, $20, $25. And actually the place that we're in right now, luckily for us, because our rig is 3 months old and man, it was looking a little rough. You pay $15 for as long as you're here, and you can wash your rig and your truck as much as you want.
For a month, $15 for a month.
Right.
So that was well worth it. And if we didn't have that, what we've done in the past, we'd go into town and use a car wash, and we'd actually just bring our own soap and stuff with us, but use the car wash.
Didn't do anything for the rig though.
Yeah, I didn't get the rig dirty.
So we washed and dried and did the windows, and now it's raining. But it's okay because I feel so much better knowing it had a bath.
We have to learn that we're going to have to live with a dirty rig and a dirty truck lots of times.
Yeah.
So be prepared for that. Now this last thing I want to talk about, this is a lesson that we learned. Luckily, I was reading an article on this and it just caught in the back of my mind, and this is something we do all the time now. When we leave for a day or even a few hours, we turn our water off at the spigot. So if we're attached to city water, we always go and turn the water off. It literally takes 10 seconds to do it. It's just one less thing we have to worry about. We don't have to worry about a pipe breaking or springing a leak or something like that. So we make a habit of that. Now, I also have a splitter, a Y splitter, so we have the water coming into our RV, our drinking water. The other side of the splitter, I use that for our black tanks, for flushing our black tanks. On our RV, we can actually connect the other end of the hose to the RV to flush it out. Thankfully, I read an article about not leaving that black tank hose attached to your RV. Now, this just happened to us about 2 weeks ago. Somebody, when we left for the day, went to turn the water off at the spigot.
He just completely threw me under the bus.
Well,
Backed up and ran over me again.
Was it you, Rodeo? No, it wasn't you. So what happened was, when we left for the day, Dina went to turn the water off at the spigot, and what she did by accident was to turn the water on to the hose that went to the black tank, the hose flush. Luckily, we only had a spray nozzle on the other end. If I would have had that hose attached to the RV to flush it out, we would have been gone for the day, and by the time we got back, our black tanks would have been full of water, overflowed, and who knows where all that stuff would have went to from there. So this is a major, major lesson. Even though I don't attach that hose to the RV, we take it one step further now, and I don't even attach it to the spigot. So not only did we leave, and we could have had the black tank hose on, the other water was still on now too, so we didn't do anything. So just to be safe, whenever I get done flushing our tanks, I disconnect that hose from the spigot altogether, and I always make sure it's not attached to the RV.
Yeah.
Big lesson that really that could have ruined our 3 months.
You're not hitting me with a frying pan, though.
Oh, that's a good idea. So one last thing that we learned is we don't have to have a 3,500 square foot home to be happy.
Full of stuff.
Yeah, full of stuff. We're in about 430 square feet, and we love every bit of it. We're having a blast.
Yeah. We really miss our family and friends at home, but we stay in touch with them. It's just been, I can't believe that it's been 3 months already.
we really are enjoying every bit of what we're doing. It's amazing, and
we
we're
can't wait.
very blessed.
Yeah, we can't wait for our next adventure.
Yeah, definitely. This is just like a dream come true. Like so many people say, you're living the dream, and it really is. Like, pinch me. No, don't pinch me, and don't hit me with a frying pan either. You already ran me over. Thank you for watching our video. We hope that you enjoyed watching it as much as we've enjoyed living it. It really is a dream come true, and we are truly blessed. If you have any comments, please leave them below, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Also, don't forget to hit the like button, and please subscribe to our channel. We would love to have you join us.
And remember, always live life to the fullest.